Welcome to the Monday Night Men's Forum. I'm Matt, Farm Hop Life. Tonight we got Christopher, SecureCoop.com.
Yeah, where's everybody else?
Jeremy texted me and said he had a bad day.
Yeah, right on.
That's about all he said.
Yeah, I have to check in with him later. And
yeah,
Grant.
Doing Grant stuff. I don't know. He's like either busy or he's not. But
I'm then on the deck of the Enterprise.
Oh, nice. How is it? It's a little dated.
Yeah, it's a little dated. They need to update the carpet and whatever, but it's cool.
It's like an open floor plan, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm not a big Trekkie fan, but that was a show I used to catch in the 80s. I really enjoyed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely before my time.
Yeah.
Personal event. It's been a couple weeks.
It has. So just picked up an AR-15.
Nice.
And, my first one, and as a Ruger with like barely any rounds on it. And,
used. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, used. And I looked on YouTube. How do you understand the condition and of a used AR-15, and found a lot of little tips. And like the biggest thing they said is to look at the brass deflector where it comes out.
Yes.
The shell comes out and it gets hit very hard, very often. Yeah, with every round. So
I'm like I'm messing with my glasses because they look all crooked in the.
They look fine.
The camera.
Yeah, they look fine.
Maybe it's my face that's crooked. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Must be.
Well, and then the next thing, so I'm going to take it to, because I haven't shot it yet. The plan is to go camping this week with the boys. Got the spot lined up. Got a buddy who's got a big, like 60-acre, well, big, around here that's big, 60-acre farm he started, and he wants me to come out and look at it. And I could do like a farm hop life kind of a thing and travel.
There you go.
Homestead. And so he wants me to come out. We're going to come out and camp and shoot a gun and ride bikes and just watch, sit by the fire and relax. Nothing big. Look at his farm and stuff. So
there's are you planning on helping on projects, or is it very more laid back?
Very more laid back. If he needs help, I wouldn't mind helping. Just the idea was I try to go camping with my boys at least twice a year. Because I got all the gear, and so once you get all the gear, camping is pretty cheap. So I try to do that a couple times a year with the boys. And we went in the spring, and now it's time to do the fall, and we'll probably try again, go in the spring, and just keep that going. So
yeah, it's good to establish like what kind of visit it's going to be ahead of time. We visited some friends up in northern Montana, and I expected there to be like. It beats more like rigorous work. Yeah. And that was not the case. And so it's kind of like left feeling like, am I helping at all here? The answer was kind of.
Yeah.
And then we like talked about it afterwards. And she was like, yeah, we've just been running like ragged, like crazy. And so this weekend was actually like nice and slow for us. Like, oh, okay, good. Because I felt like I didn't do anything. She's like, no, that's it's not like your fault or anything like that. We just didn't have our stuff together after just running like crazy all summer. So yeah, it's good to.
In some respects, then that's you feel useless, but you probably also came back refreshed anyway.
Yeah, it was a good trip. Yeah, it was a good trip. So. But yeah, that would just be like a little tip is like know what you're getting into ahead of time, because I didn't want to bombard her with a million questions. Like, hey, so what are you doing? Do I need to bring anything? Do I and just like I just kind of tried to go with the flow. They'll let me know if I need to bring anything and try to stay out of the way. Step in when I can. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a good trip though. Still, anyways,
personal event.
Yeah, so I was just out of town for work, and it was like day 2 of 9. My wife calls me saying that we had water leak all over the floor, And so my iron filter, there's like a hose that comes out of it because it purges itself. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care how it works. It has to like, I don't know, burp itself or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so like all this water runs through this hose. And so I have it. There's no drain in the floor, but I made a drain for it and routed it to the drain. And the hose came out of the drain.
Ooh.
And so that hose just like all over the floor. I mean, it my wife said it got everywhere. And like, you know, the door jams, they're unfinished. So like there's not stain and stuff on them. But she said that water like was like going up those door jams like a sponge. And so like it got really wet. It got really wet.
Yeah. Swimming.
So finally yesterday, I got home Friday. Yesterday, I finally get a chance after doing some other stuff. I get a chance to look. The floorboards that are closest, so it's the basement, it's concrete. But we have we got flooring on top of it with like crap do you call it? I don't know, underlayment. So I pull up the first piece that's closest to where that filter is, like, and where it would be the most wet. And it was like, oh, it's like dry under here. That's pretty cool. Let me check another piece. So I pull up the next piece, and I was like, there's a little bit of mold in there. That stinks. And I pull up like the next piece behind that. There was even more mold. I'm like,
oh, you're kidding.
I'm so screwed.
Oh. So
I have a heck of a lot of work to do.
Wow.
I have no clue how far it goes. I have no clue how, because like that water could just go under that underlayment or underneath that flooring, and who knows how far it could go. And if it's on concrete, it could go all the way. It could go like, because concrete's, with it being porous, it could go all the way to the edge.
Crap.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
And I checked last night, they don't make that flooring anymore.
Oh. And so it gets worse.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Dang.
So I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix all of it. On a plus note, though, we went to a farmer's market on Saturday, and there was a stand, and I was like, oh, Swift Current, blah blah blah, like mushrooms. It's like a mushroom farm that a friend down here had told me about.
Oh yeah.
So I stopped by, and I'm like, hey, what do you do with all your spent blocks? She's like, we just give them away. And if we can't give them away, honestly, they go to the dump because they have so much. I'm like, how many do you have? They're like 100 to 200 a week. And so we're like, holy crap. So I threw a tarp in the truck. So maybe like one day a week, I'll stop by on my way home from work.
Yeah.
Load up and dump it in the chicken coop or something like that to get the fungus. You know, the fungus. And then, you know, the nitrogen from the chickens, and have like one-stop compost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, what a source. That's a good one. Yeah, I wish I could get something like that.
I'll ship you some. Why? Why not? Sure, I'll compress it into a block.
Yeah.
They do it. They can do it with hay bales.
Sure.
Why not mushrooms? Mushroom blocks. Oh, that's how they ship it over in. That's how they ship hay over to China. So like,
to compress it.
It's already in a hay bale, but they compress it even more.
Wow.
To put it in a shipping container and send it to China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Like you think they could just grow it there?
Apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not.
So.
Another personal update. I'm kind of excited about this. I need to get on the scale and see how much I've lost any weight. But you remember I told you I was doing that 75 hard?
Yeah.
Finished that the other day.
Well, you kind of were doing it.
Yeah. It was partial. I picked the one part of it that I really needed most at the time. And
7.5.
It's 7.5. Anyway, I finished that the other day, and it was no cheats for 75 days. And what I noticed is all of a sudden my stomach is shrinking. I'm eating less every day than I used to feel like I needed. I never felt like I like overeating. I just felt like I was eating in, you know, the normal amount, but because my stomach needed to shrink. So I know that I've lost, like I can see it in my face, but I just haven't gotten on the scale. But I think I'm probably down 10 pounds or something like that. And just feel like I'm eating about half of what I used to.
Oh,
just,
nice.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper now. It's like not costing, because carnivore ain't cheap. So
sure,
it's costing a lot less now to get it, and I'm just glad. That was good. That was a good move. Now I'm trying to think about the next move, which is, you know, step up my exercise game and do a little bit more. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Do I need to do a 75 hard or do something else? I'm not sure.
Well, that was my next question, is like, does that make you seeing those results just by doing your version of 75 hard? Would you want to just do the full program and like see how it goes?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking about it.
What if it fixed your fatigue? What if you fixed your fatigue in 75 days? Would that be something?
Yeah, that would be cool. I know it won't, because I've had periods of times where I was busting it with exercise and no difference. So, you know, it also is a really good idea, even if it never fixes the fatigue. You know, like it's just good for general, like, you know, hey, something needs to happen right now. Get up and exercise, because I've got more energy. But, you know, whatever. So it's just a good idea, even if it does nothing for the fatigue. So, which is somewhat improving. I mean, today was kind of a down day, but like a lot of days, man, are not like they used to be. It's not like they used to be. So I'm glad, you know, it's a slow creep back up and being normal again. So, yep.
Good.
Yep.
Good progress.
Yep. So,
all right. So for the Homestead Christmas list, which by the way, nobody should ever follow in my footsteps on like how to do a podcast, because people like things seasonally.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's almost Halloween, we should do Halloween spooky stuff. And like, I wanted to think about Christmas. It's awful
cliche though, but maybe you're
no, it's like
trend.
I doubt that. I the reason this came up is because I'm like, I want that, and then 2 weeks later, I want this now, and then 2 weeks later, oh, I saw this thing. Now I want that. So now I'm just like,
you're bouncing all around.
I'm sure my wife would love to tell you, he does this. If I just not say anything, he'll get distracted with another new thing and he'll forget about it. So shiny ball.
Right on.
So let's go through your list. And then we'll make comments as we go, and then we'll do my list.
Yeah. So the weird thing is, like, I was telling you in the pre-show, like my wife and I actually have been talking about this kind of thing. More not Christmas gifts, but like long term. What do we want? What do we really want, you know, in our life in 10 years? And what are we going to start saving towards and working towards? But like in the short term, man, I used to have this little black toolkit that I stuck in the car in the trunk. And like I used like every tool in that toolkit constantly. And it was just a cheapy little, like, I got it for Christmas one year. So this little cheapy little kit with like some sockets and some bits and a wrench and pliers and knife and things like that. But like so often I'd go out to the car and pull it out and grab something and use it, because it was just really handy. And it doesn't have to be high dollar. I mean, you know, so like over a period of time, I used up most every tool and worn out. So I told my wife, I'll even show it to you. I'll send you a link here. Let me share my screen.
Christopher accidentally left us. Oh, that's funny. Hopefully he'll be back in a second.
Oh, there we are.
I had a good laugh about that.
Yeah. So I'll show you real quick. Share my screen, and that's just this guy right here. Yeah, so just like $40 toolkit with the basics.
Yeah.
You know,
nice.
I just throw that in the trunk, and I said that'd be a great Christmas gift. I've got a couple of books here. I'll share this with you.
Wish I could go to Harbor Freight for my entire list. That'd be cool. Okay, so yeah, that brings me to my for the audio listeners. Oh crap! Can you bring that up for a second? It was a Harbor Freight. Bring the list back up, or bring your item back up.
Yeah.
For like $39, it was this. Yeah. I don't know, 130 piece Pittsburgh tool set with case, $39.99 at Harbor Freight.
Here's the link to it.
Now, if only you had a coupon, maybe you could get it for free, or get moving blankets with it for free or something.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a decent kit.
Yeah,
a lot of basic stuff in there.
It is. Is
that a tape measure?
It probably is. It's like nothing about this is high dollar, but I'm not actively using tools for my job or anything. And I just found that low quality, low cost tools are perfectly adequate. So
when we've been building out like our systems, like our procedures and protocols and stuff at work.
Yeah.
And we've been building things like I've been calling them oh shit kits. Like this thing broke. I need go get the oh shit kit to go fix it. And so like that's what this is, but for like your vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, you'd still need like a tire iron and a jack and plug kit and stuff, but there's a lot of hand tools in here that could be useful for many things. So nice.
Absolutely.
It's very nice.
Then I got a few more things, but like one thing I wanted to show you was this guy right here presents.
Now, if only Harbor Freight had an affiliate link that I could run.
You could make a few on that one. Let's see, wood gap. There it is. This one, I'm about to do another presentation, or I just did one at my
wood
local
gasifier builder's Bible. It's a book.
I'm about to do a presentation on energy on Tim.
Toolman Tim.
Yeah, Toolman Tim's podcast. And this was one of the subjects. And so I said to my wife, I'd like a copy of that. And you can see it's like a $50 book. And they're not like, you can't get them used even for cheap. It's like, it's high demand. So I said, that'd be good for a Christmas gift right there. Something, to have that. Because it's like, it really is, it lives up to the name of the Bible. It's got all like 462 ratings, and it's the book that you want to have if you're thinking about building a gasifier.
Man, those things look so complicated. I looked into that for about into how to make one for about 5 seconds, and I'm like, that is way too much work. It's like you got to weld and then get your welds like X-rayed and like do more welding because well, that's like the supposedly that's the proper way to do it, because once you finish that weld, like it's getting encased in like another weld for like the chamber or something like that. So I found a guy. He actually was on Jack's show, the Survival Podcast, like way in the beginning, episode like in the hundreds.
Okay.
And he was in Washington. He just moved to Idaho. Tactical Wood Gas. That's the name. Tactical Wood Gas. And so he sells these kits.
Let me see.
So the kit, the gasifier runs a generator that runs that charges your batteries or do the inverter, that connection. So that's what a wood gasifier does. And it's actually not that expensive. It's like, oh man, I should add the gas.
His are $1,600.
Is that the small one or the big one? There's a big they call it the big dragon or whatever
big
they call it.
$2,600.
Yeah, that. Yeah. So which actually isn't that bad for a gasifier. I've seen one on Craigslist around me for like $13,000.
Oh, that gum. No, there are ways to do it that are more efficient, and I'm not going to lie, but there are also ways to do it from, old propane tanks that you get scrapped for free. It just depends on your level of efficiency and your quality and your safety, because wood gasifier is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you leak, the fuel is carbon monoxide. So, you're actually burning carbon monoxide, and it is, as you know, very deadly.
Right.
People have died with it. So, but to do it for like a little generator in the backyard, I don't think you need to go nuts. I don't think you need to, do like just pick up one of the FEMA had put out plans on doing it. So, but I wanted to get this guy because it was a little more advanced and of a process that they teach you how to do it. And perhaps it's got like the beginner version, which is only 5 welds and no x-rays required or something. I don't know.
Sure.
So I just said, let me add that to my library. It's good to have that kind of knowledge.
There's also a couple of byproducts from using a gasifier. Like you can, when you burn it off, like there's like a little drip cup that has like tar or something like that in it that you can use for waterproofing things.
And the ashes also is biochar.
That one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a really like one of the downsides of gasifier is like one we talked about, the safety, but also it's less efficient. So like your energy output is about 50% of what a regular gasoline engine would be. And but if you're like if you don't do it well, if you don't clean up the tar and things like that, you're gonna gum up the pistons and the pistons rings. But if you're using like a cheap little engine that you can occasionally disassemble, scrub down, and put back together again, it's not too bad. So there's some knowledge I wanted to have in my toolkit.
Yeah, that's a good one to have. Yeah. All right. What's next?
Let's see. Let me stop that and present. Let's share this guy right here. Trapping. So, like
nice.
Yeah. So this was what like came recommended in several places, and just I've got several trapping books, and I just wanted to add that to my library. So with trapping, I love the idea of trapping. I haven't done any yet, but I love the idea because you can set it and walk away and do other things while it's doing its work. With hunting, you're sitting there all day in the tree stand waiting. So
right.
I definitely like the force multiplier that is trapping. So I got some older books.
Multiplier.
Yeah. I got some older books, some PDFs that are free, and then like I got some paid books and things like that. And I wanted it's a life goal to sit down and actually learn a whole lot about it. But I think even now, trapping is a numbers game. So if you're poor and inexperienced, you have to set more traps. So you just go out and you just make more traps.
I swung by on my I went to town the other day, and on my way home there was like a couple of storage units that were open, and like they were like they had stuff out for sale. And so I swung by, and one of the guys had like a bunch of like hunting stuff in his, and he was like trying to sell like a couple of like there was like a shotgun, a couple of rifles.
Yeah.
And on one of the tables he had a bin of traps. Like he was just selling all of them for $300. I'm like, man, that would be a good thing to have. Would just be to have a bunch of traps.
Yeah.
But I would also want to know how to use them, obviously, but you need to have them to know how to use them.
No. Yeah.
And just buy like a whole stinking array of traps for $300. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Did you take the opportunity? No,
I didn't take it.
You're kicking yourself now, huh?
No, it'll come back around. But I do think that type of like lifestyle is definitely dying. So
yeah, it is.
I mean, how many opportunities? Because this isn't the first time that I've thought about it or seen someone selling their whole set of traps. It goes, that's probably the cheapest that I've seen it is $300 for the whole set. I've seen it up to like $600 or $700. I guess it depends on the quality and amount of traps, but that is an option for those that are interested.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so be looking around, and you might see stuff on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if they allow to sell those, but
on Craigslist, yes. I haven't haven't looked on Facebook.
Yeah, I know I've seen them on eBay. So used traps.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be
And
heavy to ship.
yeah, yeah. And I bought some like the dog proof coon traps. I would love to have some leg traps, but right now all I've got are like some. They're called dog proof coon traps, and they look like a little cylinder, and the coon sticks his foot in there to grab whatever it is. So grabs his foot.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's called
I
dog
thought
proof because a dog can't get their snout in it.
I thought raccoons were so savage that they like didn't care. Like they would rather their hand get ripped off than get stuck in a trap.
That's probably an old wives' tale, but because I know that is a good way to catch coons. So, yeah. In fact, I don't know if you remember there was a kid's book, Where the Red Fern Grows.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he described a coon trap as very similar in designs. That little hollow, he bored out a hole in a log. He put a coin down the bottom, and he put a bunch of nails pointed inward, like drove them through around the hole.
Okay.
So the raccoon could get his hand into the hole, put his hand around the coin, but could not pull it out because of the nails. And he said, like, why won't raccoon just drop the coin? And they said, because coons are so curious, they like would never even think about.
Sure.
They'll just hold on to it. Now that was in a book, but that idea like always stuck with me. Something
they got the inspiration from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like last year I read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, cool.
And like all that, like all that came from somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Mark Twain, rode on a raft down the Mississippi and, had to escape people, trying to get their slave back.
Right.
Like, it all came from somewhere, just a bunch of series of stories. So
and then you had suggested Christmas ideas. I could stop sharing that. You said it doesn't have to be realistic, so that made me think of the list that my wife and I literally were just discussing. Maybe it's disgusting. And things like we want a tornado/fallout shelter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that one? Is that one that you would build on your own, or one of these ones where you excavate and drop it in and then backfill it?
I would just build it, and it wouldn't have to be big because for both tornado and fallout, you're only for our location, we'd only be there a couple of days. And so, tornado is, a couple of hours.
How would you keep it from flooding in like tropical storms and hurricanes?
Yeah. You would use like a conical or a A-frame roof and surround it with some kind of a moat or whatever. But yeah, it could be done.
So is it in the ground or above ground?
Yeah, it's partially in ground. The one I have in mind is
both.
Yeah, the one I have in mind is like you excavate down about 4 feet. Could do that with shovels and wouldn't want to, but you could. And then an A-frame roof and pile dirt and crap on top of the A-frame roof. And you just have just enough room for people to sit and a little toilet in the corner and, like a fan or something, or a blower or a manual air exchange. But anyway.
All right, I got an idea for you to do it for cheap. Have you seen the guy that I think he's up in Canada? He built I think he calls it the Arc 2 or something like that, where he built it out of 70 buses.
Yeah.
So what you got to do, the reason, for those that don't know, the guy bought these buses. One, they're like used buses are just stupid cheap.
Yeah.
Second reason is something about the way that they're designed that they can it's like 1.5 times like their weight rating can be compressed on the top or something like that.
Yeah, because that's the problem with shipping containers.
In rollovers,
they can't be buried.
Yeah, so when a bus rolls over, it's not gonna crush the top and kill everybody inside. So they're very, very strong. So this guy, linked a bunch of them together. Let me see if I can find a thing about that. School buses.
Arc 2.
Arc 2. linked up a bunch of them together. 40. I thought it was 70. Apparently, this one's like 42. Who cares? We'll figure it out. So what you could do is you could partially bury one of these school buses and then just use the hatch in the top of the school bus to get down. It's already there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good way to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like shipping containers. They don't do well underground. You have to do a lot of reinforcing.
You can see this.
Yeah, I can see that.
So here's him.
Pretty wild.
Building it, I guess. Man, this is from 2017. I thought it was much, much older. So like here's some of the inside. Dang, I might do this now. I drive by school buses for sale all the time.
Well, it's
like,
it's entirely
look, this has been sitting here for a long time. I'm tired of looking at it. Can you just give it to me?
It's entirely practical because we do get enough hurricanes. I mean, excuse me, tornadoes. We do have hurricanes, but like the real danger in a hurricane is the tornado, not the hurricane itself. Like the hurricane itself is hardly for us any concern, but what they usually spin up little devils all around, and that's what we got to watch out for.
Look at this. Look at this map. They got a waste holding tank, septic tank, generator room, main entrance, a morgue, an X-ray and dentist room.
5 years ago, but he
died.
Yeah, he died.
I was just gonna ask. I need an update on this dude.
Yeah,
men's washroom, bunk rooms.
And they're probably dusting it off with all the crap going on in overseas right now.
Yeah, maybe they're selling tickets.
Yeah. He said he would like anybody who would ask politely. He said he would be willing to put them up.
I thought he would give them a tour, but I thought it was reserved primarily for, was it women and children? I don't remember now. But yeah, interesting. Like on YouTube, he like he gives a tour of the whole place, and like he has like rollout ventilation, like ducting and everything, and it's like a playground. Setup. It's like a playground that he built, like just for himself.
You could get lost in there.
I would, even with this little map. I didn't see with a bunch of buses. That's funny. All right, Fallout. What you called it a storm shelter, but I'm calling it a fallout shelter. What else is on your list?
It's all the above. And then we would really like a small pond. Nothing big, like 10 by 20. But that is on our goal to have a pond dug. And I've got the pumps for it already. They were on sale. And I said, let me just go ahead and get the pumps for them. And that's like the most expensive bit. So the only thing left now is to have it dug and lay in the liner and all that good stuff. So that's a life goal of ours, my wife and I. So we'd have maybe get some ducks for it, And I can see us doing that within the next 3-5 years.
So you have a spot picked out already on your, because you're on your mother-in-law's property or your mom's property?
That's right. Yeah. So we got a little spot ready to go for it, and her mom has given us free reign of this section, so it's not like we even need to ask permission. But I think if we did, she'd be like, no problem. So, so yeah, just to dig a little hole and line it with the liner and put in some pumps and put in some plants, things like that.
Just plants, or would you also do fish?
No, I'd want fish. Yeah, do the whole thing.
Fish to catch or fish to fertilize? Both?
A little bit of both, yeah.
Because where you guys are at, how far from from fishing are you?
Oh, well, there's a pond 2 miles away. There's it's a lake. It's really a lake. There's a river 10 minutes drive away. And then the ocean is an hour. So there's fish all around. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
That rounds out your list?
Oh, I got more, but I wanted to hear yours.
Oh, all right. Okay. So first thing on the list is that something that so we did the Collapse Now and Avoid the Rush series, right?
Yeah.
Ever since that, I've wanted a hand water pump that runs in line with my well.
Beautiful.
So I've only how do I do this? I just did it. Now I got to do it again. This one. So this is the only quote that I've got for my well. It's by Simple Pump.
Yeah, those are pricey.
Well, it doesn't help that your well is 340 feet deep, and
yours is.
Yeah,
ours is pretty deep too. I think it's like.
So I need. Yeah, I need the deep system for it,
Yeah.
and it's like right there. It's almost like at the limit of what they can do.
Yeah, so you just get like enough to fill a bucket and then walk away.
Something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like 20. The quote was like $2,500, about $2,500 somewhere in there.
Right.
Which is about what I expected. Now Long Story Farms, he's got a buffalo pump or bison pump. Which one is it?
Those are cool.
Buffalo. Yeah, they're very, very fancy looking. They look very nice. Cool. It's like a piece of art. No, seriously, they look really nice. Bison deep well pump. Let me see here. Shoot, I'm not ready for this. Is it bison? Is it buffalo? It's buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
Whatever. I'll just share. I'll just share this part.
Oh, man.
Are you seeing this?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so yeah, this one looks a lot better.
Yeah.
It just looks, I don't know, just looks nicer. But I mean, the other one, it's Simple Pump. It's simple. The end. So it provides the same function. I mean,
yeah.
As long as the quality is there for both, just go with the cheaper one. So.
Right on.
Yeah. I could probably works up to it's 200 feet static water level. I don't know. I should look into buffalo pump too. Bison pump. I don't know what it's called anymore. But so our pressure tank stopped working like a month ago. It just seems to be like the season of water issues for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So prior to the floor getting flooded, we had the opposite problem where our pressure tank stopped working, and we would have to flip the breaker to just get water to run, and it wasn't an issue with the pressure switch. It was the pressure tank itself, like the bladder deflated or something like that.
Wow.
And so not having water is like panic mode. How are we going to do anything?
And you're not going to die of thirst, but it just increases your inconvenience considerably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we had this, we could at the very least go out there, pump some water, run it through a filter, and have water. I think the Simple Pump, when you go through their little questionnaire to get a quote, they give you one of the options is would you ever hook this up to your main supply in your house?
Okay.
I was thinking at first I thought no, but then I was thinking yes, because if you needed to run something, let's say somebody's trying to take a shower, well, somebody could be out there pumping, just pump for 5 minutes or so, and someone could take a quick shower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd probably be a pretty weak shower,
and cold.
But yeah, probably cold. But that would be an option. Now, we do have a generator. Obviously, we did a generator episode, but so that could run the pump. But for some reason, if the pump or the pump stopped working, the electric pump stopped working, the pressure tank stopped working.
You want your contingencies.
I want a contingency, even if my water is full of iron, I want some water.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny you say that. You're talking about this because this is the topic I was studying earlier this week. We have a generator. We have all. If I can ever finish installing it, the solar inverter, and I would love to test it someday. But looking at the specs, looks like it should deliver enough power to run the well pump that we have on the property. So that's 2 ways. But I'm not comfortable with just 2 ways. I mean, we have a creek half a mile away, so we could walk over and get it. There's a neighbor with a pond, so we have options. Or we could put something underneath the eaves and catch water coming off the roof, and we have options. But I like to have multiple options. So I started to ponder and said, what if I could if you spin a motor backwards, it'll turn into a generator.
Yep.
And if it's the same kind of motor, like it's a 220 split phase AC motor, you spin it backwards, it should generate 220 split phase energy. And I said, what do we have in a lot of houses that is about that size on that voltage? Air conditioners. And so I've been kind of pondering, can the air conditioner condenser motor be spun backwards to generate the electricity sufficient to run a well pump? And the big concern there is the surge wattage. You need for ours, I think it's a 1.5 horse, which is a 5,000 watt surge, wattage. But as long as you can find a 4-ton air conditioner condenser pump, of which there are probably a number of them, that's only like a 2,500 square foot house. So a motor like that should be pretty easy to obtain grid down. And the other thing about that is then I can also help my neighbors who may not be preparing at all. And, hey, now we can run your well pump and you can have water again.
So how would the well pump run? So just hook it up to a wind turbine or something like that?
Anything that spins. We don't have a lot of wind here. But like an old gasoline engine, a lawnmower engine would probably have enough horsepower you need 5-7 horsepower. And so just hook that, make a pulley and attach it to the motor shaft and do it.
So you would take one engine to run this pump, like the condensing
motor
pump.
Yeah, the generator.
To run the water pump.
Yeah.
Oh,
make your own generator. It's all theoretical and experimental, but that's how you come up with great ideas, is just starting to brainstorm. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So.
All right. Second on my list.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I browse farm and garden Craigslist often, several times a week. And I've been thinking about man, it'd be really cool to own an excavator. There's a lot that I could do with an excavator. And I was browsing last week, and this is the shiny new object, right?
Oh man, excavator. I would love an excavator.
This is an excavator, though. I was just browsing farm and garden, and for some reason, oh crap! Again, not ready. Right here. This caught my eye.
That's a great tractor.
So I thought so. I'm like, huh.
It is. I was looking into one of those.
So this is, for those listening, this is a 1948 Ford 8N tractor.
Yeah, and they're bomb-proof.
It's a bucket on the front.
Yeah.
This one is already converted to 12-volt starter, which I guess makes it easier to start.
Yeah.
And originally they were built with 6-volt starter.
Yeah.
This one's been converted to 12. And this tractor, you can pick up parts. You can, even though it's almost 70 years old or whatever, you can still get parts for it at Tractor Supply.
Yeah. Yeah, they're amazing tractors.
So
how much do they want for it?
They want $4,200 for it.
That's not too bad.
It's got PTO on the back.
Yeah.
So you could add attachments. This one does come with the double bottom plow, so I could cut swales into the property.
Man.
And I've compared it to other ones online, and a lot of them don't have this front loader.
Yeah,
that's an add-on.
That is an add-on, and that's not common, and it's going to be expensive if you tried to add it yourself.
And
so the fact that it comes with it is a good price.
That and the condition is looks like it's pretty good. So
does look good. That is a good deal right there.
That's what I thought.
In my limited, don't do a little more research than you hear it from me, because in my limited studies that looks like a good deal. But what do I know?
I in looking for like, oh, what else could I get for like on this tractor for like the PTO? Well,
Yeah,
I
generator.
found a generator for the
PTO.
PTO.
Yep.
What is that? Explain that.
No, I didn't want to distract you from what you were going to say. So you're
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So just a generator just hooks to the PTO and makes electricity. Simple.
Oh, okay. So you take the running tractor and walk me through it just a little bit further. Just like another step.
Like he's got that spinning shaft, and that spins the generator the electrical part of it to generate electricity. And a generator is a backwards motor. Just about any induction motor can be turned into a generator by just spinning.
You're taking what is the gen like? So yes, the tractor is spinning the PTO, and it's spinning a motor that's connected to what?
That your load, whatever your electricity.
But it would be DC.
No, it should be AC.
You would need an inverter.
No, it would be AC.
You would be spinning an AC motor.
Yeah. When you spin an AC motor, you get AC out.
Okay.
When you spin I think it was a DC motor with a commutator, and then you get DC out. But that was just something I happened to read a few days ago. So
this is just one of the things that I found. You could get an auger for the back of your tractor.
Yeah.
$500, and you got a postal. Like basically, you got an auger. So
that's beautiful.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And like obviously they make, excavator attachments for, let's see, tractor, PTO, backhoe. That's what I'm looking for.
Backhoe.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Now we're talking.
Where is it? There was one that I saw. I don't know. They can be pricey from like $4,000 to, brand new $20,000.
Yeah.
For a tractor backhoe attachment.
That's probably
they got a little video. That's nice.
That's the entire unit, and it's $2,500, which is about going price I've seen.
Yeah, here you go. You can get a Kubota. Ooh, it's got a thumb.
Hey.
Yeah, you can get a backhoe attachment for a couple $1,000. So instead of buying used, like look at this Kubota back here. This is probably like a $40,000 excavator back here.
Yeah.
So instead of that, for let's say $10,000, you've got a tractor with a front loader, backhoe attachment for $10,000.
And it's a reliable tractor.
Yep, it's a reliable tractor. That's the one thing is that like I get like the whole collapse now, avoid the rush. If there's an electrical issue in a new tractor or excavator, I'm not going to be able to fix it. Most likely, it's going to like be a computer glitch.
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
So
an
I decided I want something old, and that way I can also get into the world of like fixing old things, like learning how to do that, because I don't know how to do any of that.
And it would hold its value. It totally would hold its value.
It should. Yeah. That, and I'm like trying to think of like projects that I could use that tractor for, and there's a lot. And one of them is like I already mentioned swales, but like
man,
I could work that double bottom plow a couple times, and start putting in some water featers here. And I told my wife this morning, I'm like, I could. I'll just drive it down. I'll be there in about a year. I told my wife, I'm like, if we ever wanted to sell this place, water features would only make it more valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So, especially in a
Jeff
climate like
did
ours.
A whole video on that, on adding water features to like a 5-acre property, and he bumped his value just some enormous amount by just adding this and that water feature. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So like we're working on some rain catchment already.
Cool.
And so this would just be another part of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Third on the list.
Okay.
I keep having to redo all this. Okay. Present. Pack goats.
Hey.
Why pack goats? So they're multi-purpose. I went hiking with a lady a couple weeks ago. who's been doing goats for 30 years. And there's actually 3 of them. I don't know where the other one went in this picture, but we went on a hike with her pet goats, a couple of them anyways. And they're really cool. They were just like fun to just be around. It made hiking on the trail just fun. Because like sometimes you go on the trail and you don't see anything.
Okay.
Well, there's animals with you everywhere you go. And they're just like munching every time. Like, I mean, they're eating on as they're walking. Like when you stop, they're just eating and walking. And it was just cool to like hang out with them. And they're like, there's like a couple rocks. They're just like climbing over rocks. And
then you get meat and
meat
milk. Fur, skin.
These ones, they're just hair.
Okay.
But one thing that I need on the property is I need some sort of livestock to do some like rotational grazing. Like, yeah, I could do that with chickens, but the stuff that I've heard goats will take care of that problem. But it's seasonal. I have this stuff called cheatgrass, and it sucks. It's like made by the devil. And so the goats will eat that in the spring when it's still soft. But once the seeds start developing, then it's too hard and like it pokes them in the mouth. They don't like that. But sheep will also eat it. By the way, cows will eat it. But I don't want to go. I don't want to have a pack cow. I want a pack goat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go small. I like that.
And like I could even put my kids on it up to a certain point. They can only carry about a quarter of their body weight. So a 200-pound pack goat carries 50 pounds.
Okay.
Like and you can't you say like a purse?
Like a person.
Just here's my purse.
Yeah, 50-pound purse.
This is like, sir, you can't bring this into the store. Like, this is my man purse. And like you have to wait until like they're 3 years old before they can do full weight. Otherwise they can get stunted and whatnot. But yeah, it was a really cool hike. But these the reason I don't have them yet, 2 reasons. They're expensive.
I was gonna ask you. Yeah,
they're 6 they're each one of these guys right here. They're about 1.5 years old. They're $600 a piece. Now, this lady, like she said that she's worked very hard to like have good genetics and like not have, this or that in her bloodlines. And so I can understand that. That's a lot of work. And I asked her, like, would you be open to like barter? And she said, well, I do need to pay for some hay, but so we could do some barter, some cash. And I said that would work. Just let me get to the second point would be like my wife, when I'm not home, she would be the one to take care of these. And so it's like, do I take care of the goats inside? We call them children. Do I take care of the goats outside? Also kids. Like it'd just be a lot for us right now. So
yeah, it'd be a lot.
But
I hear you.
Still fun to think about.
Yeah, that's one reason I've held off on any animals. Just like I feel like I'm barely treading water with what I've got, so I don't want to add more. Yeah.
Fourth thing, travel trailer, obviously.
Yeah, you never got that one for your.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. There are I wouldn't say more expensive, but more immediate purchases that needed to happen before the travel trailer. So
definitely
kind of like got to get, whether we sell the house, rent the house, or permanently stay in the house has to be taken care of first.
Sure.
So all the expenses go into there before coming up with like, a mobile home, mobile house. And
and it is a house. It's like another thing to maintain.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And they wear out faster too, because everything's bouncing down the road.
Yeah. But the flip side of that is they're relatively easier to repair yourself. I mean, like I went up one of our 2 RVs I've got on the roof and replaced all of the skylights and plastic and vents and everything like that. And yes, they're only like 10 years old and starting to crumble, but so that's more fragile. But the fact that I could do it myself, I didn't have to hire somebody, just get up there and, it's been like 2 hours, 3 hours chipping off the old stuff and put on the new and we're done. And now that is great. So yeah.
I wanted to show you, since you were talking about repairs, check out this. So I bought some of this stuff. This is Henry.
Yeah, Henry makes good
leak
stuff.
Repair.
Yeah.
The wet patch. It's the extreme version. So I just bought a tube of this because I had some fixing to do for some water storage, some for the chickens and some for like rain catchment.
Yeah.
And so I was using some of this to kind of patch some things. And that stuff is super sticky. You can use it, if they say you can use it underwater. Now, I found that to be true, but not under pressure, which makes sense. Like I had to find that out the hard way because like I made a patch, I patched the thing and like I put it together and then I put water in this barrel right away. Well, it started to leak. I'm like you said, it could work underwater.
Yeah,
that's like it could work. Well, it's wet,
still water,
because let's think about it. It's meant for your roof.
Yeah,
it's not unless your roof is underwater. There's no reason why this product would be needed to work under the water. But like if it's raining, you could use it. So I had to fix all my I had to get the water out of the barrel and goop up the patch and just let it dry for a minute. So it takes, technically, if you look at the specs, it takes 30 days to fully cure. But that's the fully cure. It starts stopping leaks immediately. And like there's like something about like off gassing process, something along those lines that it produces something. So anyways, I'm trying it out. I patched up a bunch of stuff. I should actually go check it tonight. It should be a lot less tacky tonight because it's been about 24 hours since I did that. So
yeah, we got Henry Tropicool is what it's called, ready to go to coat our roofs, and they said like you can even do it with rain expected in an hour. So it's not that instant stuff like you got, but it is very fast because it's water. Water actually cures it. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's like, you're wet, perfect. That's what I want. So ordinarily, if it's dry outside, it just takes the moisture. But even if there's standing water, it'll handle that. After it cures. So it's a good product. Henry makes good stuff, and ours has a lifetime warranty. So I'm eager to get it coated on the roof. At least I've got the plastics replaced. That was the first step, and the next step is to get up there and scrub it down, clean it down, and then we'll get and put 2 layers of the Henry on and rock and roll. So
they make they sell it also by the gallon. Like you can get a gallon of stuff and like roll it on if you're doing like a flat roof or something.
Yeah, I got a 5-gallon.
Oh wow!
I got 2 of them.
But that was pricey.
Yeah. What killed me is I had it in my shopping cart and kind of like got delayed with other things and went back to get it. It went up like $100 per bucket. So up now like $400 total, just in the increase in inflation. That was like, oh no, I could have had it for cheaper. But anyway, yeah. So my buddy and he's gonna come over and we're gonna not right now. I am on the solar project. We installed the we got first step of the solar project is the high efficiency air conditioner, and we put in the head the other day. So those need to be plumbed, and he'll come over. We help each other out. I got this buddy. I go to his little homestead. He goes to my little homestead, and we help each other out. And,
nice.
So we put in the head unit the other day, and then I need to get it plumbed, and then we can wire it in and switch it on, and we'll have high efficiency air conditioner, heat. It's a heat pump unit, so in the winter you get heat, and in the summer you get cool. And then that will let us run on the solar, which I think the hardest part about the solar is going to be I've got to build a little Arduino control board to watch the batteries, and not too complicated, but it's like just a bunch of fiddly little bits that I got to put together. Yeah. So, but that's the project I'm rolling on, because it's killing me to keep paying that electricity bill. So
sure,
that's where I'm at. And that would be another item on the Christmas list. Is we have a hybrid inverter, which switches between the panels and the grid when the sun goes down. If you have batteries in your mix, if you get some lithium batteries, then you can run longer after the sun goes down and save more money. So that's the goal on our long-term, medium term, like the next 2, 3, 5 years, is a set of lithium batteries for the solar system. So
too bad you can't buy a totaled out electric vehicle and use all those batteries.
You can do it, and I've looked into it, and it's not as good of a value as you'd think it would be.
Shoot.
There's so much demand for those that it's actually just.
I mean, also that, I guess now that I think about it, if the batteries have been in an accident, would them put them at like higher risk of starting on fire?
Not necessarily, if they inspect them and make sure there's no damage on them. Usually the kinds of damage you get on cars are around the frame and on the top. The battery is down in the belly, and so it's less likely to get damaged and ruptured.
Sure.
So
okay.
It's not a bad idea, and that was my first thought. And then I looked and compared and said, wait a minute now, these from a used Tesla was like $1,000 more than buying brand new. And so I said, why would I do that?
Yeah. Okay.
And, so
good to know.
Yeah,
all right.
Good to know.
Fifth and final thing. Secure coop.
With an app that is finally acting like it's supposed to.
Right.
Yeah, the app is like I had no experience with JavaScript. I've got to get. I'm convinced people are starting to wonder whether it's even a real, not vaporware. I've got to get the stupid thing into people's hands like Jeremy, and to actually play with it and show off and beta test it. So I will. In fact, I've got time off at the end of the year. I scheduled because I wanted to, save up all my time off. I got next week off and a week in November, and one in December, one in January. I'm going to be just busting it and finishing the last steps and getting ready for a beta test in someone's hands. So
good. That'll move it from the unrealistic column to the realistic column.
Got it. Yeah. Needs to happen.
All right. Tell people what a secure coop is.
Secure coop is a coop door opener with phone notifications. I work with a Fortune 50 financial company, and I work with their computers, and I took a lot of the principles and applied them down to the chicken coop level so that we got monitoring, we got backups, we got making sure it's secure, so that you will get an alert if your coop has an issue, like the door doesn't close on time or open on time. You will know, and I've got a guarantee such that if you lose any chickens because of some issue that I didn't notify you about, that I'll replace your birds up to your entire flock. So I feel that confident about the product I'm working on. So there's a coupon below Farm Hop Life Rocks, and there is a mailing list where you get a different coupon and apply them together, because I am having a pre-sale, and get the free ebook there. Get on the mailing list. I'll let you know when things are ready.
Get the free ebook, 40 Ways to Have a More Secure Coop.
Yep. And if you want the ebook, I can just link you to it. You don't need to necessarily sign up to the mailing list. So
nice.
Yep.
You need to update this picture of this iPhone. This is old.
Everything needs an update. Not just been focusing on the software.
I'm nitpicking.
It will. It'll. I've got a much better template that I've saved. I'm going to copy and make it my own, and looks a whole lot better. So the website is over the years has gradually improved. And that's like the best looking website I've had yet. And it's still really janky. So I know I need to do more work on it.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right. And I forgot my banner. Where am I? Here am I. I'm Matt DeRoser, farmhublife.com. We are a traveling homestead family. I do a podcast of interviews, This Men's Forum, and Famous Farmers series. It's like a mini biography. Cool. And I also do farm tours when people let me. My last famous farmer was Sepp Holzer. That was actually a really fun one.
You did Sepp Holzer?
I did Sepp Holzer.
Cool.
Yeah. That was a pretty fun one.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Over Zoom or whatever?
No, I didn't interview Sepp Holzer. So the famous farmer. I read a bunch of biographies about them, and then I go blah 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 for 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Yeah.
All right.
And Sepp, he, a lot of people know of Sepp Holzer, and I go into how did he get the term rebel farmer or agro rebel. Like I got down to where that title came from and how we got started.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's if people have other farmers they want me to dive into.
Yeah.
Send me an email, Matt@farmhouselife.com.
I hope you can actually interview Sepp. That would be amazing.
He speaks German. I'd have to go have to have my wife interpret for me, and even then it would be well, that too. But she's she know when we're watching a German movie, it's she knows 30% of what they're saying. So it's not totally fluent, but kind of enough to get by type thing. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't know when we're coming back, and I don't know what we're talking about.
Figure it out.
All right. Thanks for joining me, Christopher.
Thanks
everybody for listening. Yeah. See you next time.
Yeah. Bye.